Hi YouTube, Heir of Carthage coming back to you. This is an online battle I played not too long ago. I am of course playing as Carthage, because as a fan of Carthage I hate the Scipii Romans. Here I kind of lost this unit of Sacred Band Cavalry. They'll come back from routing. I kind of thought that was a bit ridiculous, to be honest. They're well upgraded. Anyway, my opponent is Bassus, and he's playing as the Scipii Romans, of course. So I have 4 units of Sacred Band Cavalry. One has come back from routing, and here I'm kind of taunting the Roman cavalry. And my opponent is trying a tactic that I've seen played many times as the Romans, and that is bringing minimal units of Praetorians, because that's really all you need. His 2 units of Praetorians are a match for my 4 units of Sacred Band, which is retarded because Roman cavalry was never as good as Carthaginian. In this case, he's brought a couple of units of Triarii to support his cavalry, and between his Triarii and his cavalry, he definitely outpowers mine. And then he has 6 units of Roman archers. It's another typical tactic for online Rome players. Bring a lot of archers, Praetorian Cav, urban cohorts. Now, my opponent did skip a little bit of upgrades on his urbans, which is fortunate for me because gold urbans are a serious detriment to any Carthaginian force. Well, I said urbans. Well, that's pretty stupid of me. He brought early legionary cohorts, and they don't even have full upgrades. I was thinking urban cohorts just because he had the Praetorian cavalry. Well, in any case, yeah, the reason why he's brought early legionaries is because he has 4 units of Triarii. That's probably a bit overkill, because as I said, his 2 units of Praetorian Cav are more than a match for my Sacred Band Cavalry. So this battle is rather long, and this is just the opening skirmish phase. My opponent is using the 2 wings tactic, which is basically where he leaves some infantry and cavalry to protect his archer force, and then he's planning on using his archer force to hit my flanks. And there you can see him going after my Balearic slingers, and he does rout some, but my slingers are going to come back from routing. In fact, he's kind of wasting his time, in my opinion, going after my Balearic slingers. He should be going out for the knockout blow on my Sacred Band Cavalry. And here I killed a goodly number of his Praetorian Cav, but then at this point I have to retreat because of all the archer fire and his Triarii being there to support, and I lose another unit of Sacred Band, or 2 units of Sacred Band Cav, and I make off with what I can. And at this point, I remember in the game now, I don't know why I was thinking urbans, I remembered at this point I realized he had early legionary cohorts, and so I'm going to chase his infantry and destroy his infantry before his archers and cavalry have a chance to play a significant role in this battle. So my opponent is playing the split wing tactic, and that's a good tactic only if you can micromanage your troops well enough to protect them. And here, while he's retreating, I'm going to slam into his early legionary cohorts with my Sacred Band Cavalry from behind, and that kills a great number of the early legionaries. They're not particularly effective against cavalry. Of course, I don't want to leave my cavalry there in a prolonged fight, and then also my Sacred Band nearly caught up with them there. And so because my cavalry are over here making strikes, my opponent is going to have to move his cavalry back over to this area, because his infantry is now separated and vulnerable. So here's me basically chasing down his infantry, and I'm not going to cease chasing his infantry. My line's a bit out of whack there, and my opponent's running because he knows that his infantry has no chance against mine. And he's right to think that. But his mistake is leaving his troops unsupported like this, because he can't really effectively retreat, because I can stop him with my cavalry, and then my men start to catch up. So here's my opponent's Praetorian Cav, but again, my strategy here was to take advantage of my opponent having to micromanage 2 different flanks. And right now you can see all of my Balearic Slinger units have come back from routing, and so now what I'm doing is firing into the backs of his archers. You can see that is going to be taking place here, and you'll also notice that it's raining, and so his archers are going to be suffering a detriment due to slippery bowstrings. There's the stones from my Balearic Slingers coming in here, and I'm going to be killing his archers and Triarii, and he doesn't really notice this going on, which is much to my advantage. So my opponent is still running away from me with his infantry, and his archers are trying to get into position to fire on the rear of my men. However, because of my constant movement, it's making that difficult for him. And here I nearly caught this unit of early, well, I did catch this unit of early legionaries, but they kept running. And here I have my cavalry out front again, trying to run distraction and to get his forces to stop running so that I can engage them. Here comes his Praetorian cavalry, looking for an opportunity to engage my cavalry, which I am not going to give him. Basically, I'm just making my opponent run and lose his position until such a time as the battle is going to turn to my favor. Again, let's look at the damage that my Balearic slingers are causing. This unit of archers is down to 25 men here. I think that's due to my slingers, because there's dead archers laying right there. Wait and see when the next wave of stones comes in for my slingers. Or actually, I may have them targeted on his infantry right now. Yes, I do. Looks like this unit of Triarii here is taking some damage. Let's see if that's the case. Oh, nope, the stones are flying at his archers. So I don't know exactly what I'm targeting with my slingers, but I'm doing a great deal of damage with them. They end up getting a lot of kills. And I'm sorry there, I missed. I told you that I was waiting on my opponent to make a micromanagement mistake, and here he did. His Praetorian cavalry were caught onto my Sacred Band phalanx. So whenever you're running two wings, you better make darn sure that you can manage those two wings. Now my opponent has lost one of his units of cavalry, the other one has regrouped, but is significantly weaker at this point. And also my opponent's infantry is being torn to bits by my slinger. And here his infantry is now out of position. They're bunched up, and early legionary cohorts would have a hard time beating Sacred Band under the best of circumstances, and this is not the best of circumstances. So here I'm moving up my Sacred Band. My opponent's going to attempt to run away, but now I've caught him. And this unit of early legionaries is going to start to feel the wrath of the professional troops of Carthage, which would have been rare in real life unless it was the 3rd or 4th century BC. And basically the Carthaginian Sacred Band was kind of a copy off of the Greek armored hoplites. And I'm not just saying that because CA made their skins look exactly the same. It was literally that way in real life. So now my opponent's kind of getting desperate. Again, he leaves his Praetorian cavalry here in front of my men without noticing it. And so I'm going to get an opportunity to once again engage his Praetorian cav with my phalanx troops, but for some reason my men are backing up. Except for this guy. He's out for blood. Thought that was kind of interesting. Basically, I know this battle is a little bit scattered, but it comes down to a more decisive engagement here in a moment. As you can see, my opponent's troops are really spread all over the map, and he's trying to take advantage of a bit of my malpositioning at this point, but he doesn't get to do so. And here he thought he could get a rear charge, and I kill a few of his cavalrymen, and they end up routing. Over here I did catch one of his units of early legionnaires, and they are getting absolutely diced by my Sacred Band. There they are. Even in a sword fight, the early legionnaires are probably about equal with my phalanx troops here. So they are getting into it. And over here I've caught more of his early legionnaires, and I actually caught them, Triarii. I caught them with my swords, and routed that unit. Triarii are no match in any way, shape, or form for Sacred Band. I don't know about in real life, though. In real life, Triarii were, of course, the hardened veterans of the Roman army, so it's quite possible that in real life the Triarii would have been a force to be reckoned with. Of course, they didn't get used all that often, unless the Romans had to retreat. Here I'm going to take advantage of my slingers. I'm hitting these Triarii whilst engaging them with my phalanx as well. So he's still running away there. And at this point I'm chasing off my opponent's routing troops with my cavalry. Let's take a close-up look at these early legionnaires duking it out with my phalanx, and they're also getting hit in the backs with stones, so they rout extremely quickly. And then my opponent hit my men in the back, and then I sandwiched his men in between two phalanx, so that was kind of a Sarissa trash compactor right there. So my opponent admits defeat, seeing that his infantry was pretty much defeated. My opponent employed a pretty sound strategy, a strategy that I've been beaten with several times, but his execution of it left me opportunities to take advantage of his army being split up. And in the end, because I didn't have 2 wings, I was able to maintain my army easier. Hope you enjoyed this video, and it's been a while since I've done a Rome Total War Online, and this is all the time that I have for video. Well, I think I might put up another video tonight, I'm not sure. Keep your eyes open. Thanks a lot.